I want you to imagine something for a moment. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. The world is quiet, your house is dark, and yet your mind and your body are wide awake, tense, restless, uncomfortable. You toss, you turn, you check the clock, and frustration starts to build. Sound familiar? So many of us live exactly like this, trapped in a cycle of stress, tight muscles, and sleepless nights. But here is the powerful truth I want to share with you today. Your body is not your enemy. It is responding to the signals you have been giving it. And the good news is you can change those signals in just 5 minutes. There is a simple exercise, almost unbelievably simple, that targets one of the most overlooked muscles in the body, the muscle that holds stress, anxiety, and tension deep inside you. When that muscle tightens, it keeps your nervous system on high alert. It whispers to your brain, stay awake, be ready, don't relax. And you lie there wondering why sleep won't come. This 5-minute exercise is not about force. It is not about pushing harder. It is about gently telling your body, you are safe, you can let go now. When you slow your breathing, when you stretch and release in a mindful way, you are literally resetting your dopamine and stress response. You are bringing balance back to a system that has been overstimulated all day long. We live in a world that constantly pulls us into tension. Screens, worries, deadlines, noise, and then we expect our bodies to magically relax at night. That is not how biology works. Relaxation is a skill. Sleep is a skill. And skills can be learned. So I'm asking you to give yourself just 5 minutes. 5 minutes to care for the body that carries you through life. 5 minutes to release the muscle that wakes you up at night. Because when you do, you are not just improving sleep. You are reclaiming your peace, your energy, and your emotional balance. You deserve rest. You deserve calm. And it starts with one small, powerful step. Tonight, choose to give your body permission to relax. Your body remembers what your mind ignores. That is one of the most important truths most people never stop to think about. We spend our days running from task to task, absorbing stress, swallowing frustration, pushing through discomfort, pretending we are fine. We convince ourselves that if we don't pay attention to the tension inside us, it will simply disappear. But the body doesn't work that way. The body keeps score. It stores every bit of pressure, every anxious thought, every unresolved emotion deep inside the muscles and the nervous system. And then night comes. At night, when everything finally becomes quiet, your body begins to speak the truth you avoided all day. That tightness in your neck, the ache in your back, the clenched feeling in your chest, those are not random sensations. They are messages. They are signals that something has been building under the surface for hours, days, sometimes even years. When we ignore those signals long enough, they turn into sleepless nights, restless legs, racing thoughts, and a nervous system that refuses to calm down. We like to believe that sleep is simply a matter of turning off the lights and closing our eyes. But sleep is not just a mental switch. Sleep is a full-body experience. If your muscles are tight, your brain interprets that as danger. If your brain senses danger, it will not allow deep rest. This is biology, not weakness. It is your nervous system doing exactly what it was designed to do, protect you. The problem is that in the modern world, we live in a constant state of low-grade alarm. Emails, notifications, deadlines, family pressures, financial worries, they all create invisible layers of tension. We get used to carrying that tension the way a person gets used to carrying a heavy backpack. After a while, we don't even notice how heavy it is, but the body notices. The body always notices. That is why releasing a single tight muscle can feel like unlocking a door you didn't even realize was closed. When you deliberately relax the part of your body that holds the most stress, you send a powerful message to your entire system. You are safe now. You can let go. You can rest. In that moment, you are not just stretching a muscle. You are retraining your nervous system. You are teaching your brain a new pattern. Most of us try to solve sleeplessness by fighting it, with more effort, more distraction, more stimulation. But real change comes from doing the opposite. It comes from slowing down, tuning in, and listening to what the body has been trying to tell you all along. The moment you stop ignoring those signals and start responding to them with care, everything begins to shift. 5 minutes of intentional release can do what hours of mental worrying never will. It can unwind the physical story of your day. It can lower the volume on the noise inside your head. It can transform a restless, guarded body into one that feels calm, heavy, and ready for sleep. Your mind may try to ignore stress, but your body never lies. And when you finally learn to listen, real rest becomes possible again. Sleep is not luck, it is biology. That simple sentence changes everything if you truly understand it. Most people treat sleep like a mysterious gift that randomly arrives on good nights and disappears on bad ones. They think some people are just good sleepers, and others are cursed with insomnia. But that belief is wrong, and it is disempowering. Sleep is not a lottery. It is a deeply biological process, governed by the nervous system, the brain, and the state of your body. Your body has two basic modes, alert and relaxed, awake and at ease, fight or flight, or rest and digest. Every single minute of your day, your nervous system is deciding which mode to be in. And here is the critical truth. If your body feels tense, your brain will not allow sleep. It cannot. From a biological standpoint, tight muscles and shallow breathing signal potential danger. And when the brain senses danger, it stays awake to protect you. This is not a failure of willpower. It is not a personal flaw. It is your biology doing exactly what it was designed to do. We live in a culture that constantly pushes our nervous systems into overdrive. We wake up to alarms, rush through mornings, stare at screens, drink caffeine, juggle responsibilities, absorb bad news, and carry emotional stress all day long. By the time night arrives, we expect our bodies to magically switch from high alert to deep relaxation in a matter of minutes. And when that doesn't happen, we get frustrated. We blame ourselves. We say, "Why can't I just sleep?" But the problem is not you. The problem is that you have not given your biology a chance to shift gears. This is where that simple 5-minute exercise becomes so powerful. Because when you deliberately relax the muscle that holds the most tension, you are doing something profound. You are flipping a biological switch. You are telling your nervous system in a language it understands that the threat is over. You are safe. You can stand down now. No sleeping pill can do that in a true natural way. No amount of scrolling on your phone can do that. Only physical relaxation can send that message to the brain. Think about how animals sleep. A dog doesn't lie awake worrying about tomorrow. It stretches, it yawns, its body relaxes, and sleep comes naturally. Humans have the same built-in system. We have just forgotten how to use it. We try to think our way into sleep instead of guiding our bodies into it. When you calm the body, the mind follows. That is not philosophy. It is neuroscience. The beauty of understanding sleep as biology is that it gives you back control. If sleep is random, you are powerless. But if sleep is a biological response to relaxation, then you have tools. You have influence. You can prepare your nervous system the way an athlete prepares for a performance. And that is exactly what this exercise does. It creates a bridge between the chaos of your day and the calm your body needs at night. It helps your system move from tension to release, from alertness to ease, from scattered thoughts to quiet rest. So stop thinking of sleep as something that happens to you. Start seeing it as something your biology creates when the conditions are right. Relax the body, and the brain will do what it was always meant to do. Because sleep is not luck. It never was. Sleep is biology, and biology can be guided. Modern life overstimulates us all day long. That is not an exaggeration. It is the defining reality of our time. From the moment we open our eyes in the morning to the moment we finally collapse into bed at night, we are being pulled, pushed, notified, tempted, pressured, and distracted. Our brains and bodies were not designed for this constant flood of stimulation, yet we live inside it every single day as if it were normal. We wake up and immediately check our phones, messages, emails, social media, news alerts. Within minutes, our nervous systems are already firing at full speed. Then we rush into schedules, responsibilities, conversations, traffic, noise, deadlines. We drink coffee to stay sharp. We scroll screens to stay entertained. We multitask to stay productive. All of it sends the same message to the brain. Stay alert, stay activated, stay ready. And the brain listens. Every notification, every argument, every stressful thought triggers tiny surges of dopamine and adrenaline. These chemicals are useful in small doses. They help us focus and perform. But in the modern world, they never really turn off. Instead of short bursts of stimulation followed by long periods of calm, we live in a state of continuous low-level excitement. It feels normal because everyone around us is living the same way. But biologically, it is anything but normal. By the time night arrives, most of us are carrying the invisible weight of the entire day inside our bodies. We may sit down on the couch and think we are relaxing, but our muscles remain tight, our breathing stays shallow, and our nervous system is still quietly humming with tension. Then we crawl into bed and wonder why sleep won't come. The truth is simple. An overstimulated body cannot produce deep, natural rest. Your muscles are like emotional storage units. They absorb the stress you never released, the worries you never processed, the urgency you carried from one task to the next. Even when your mind tries to slow down, your body is still stuck in high gear. And as long as that physical tension remains, your brain interprets it as a signal to stay awake. This is why so many people feel exhausted yet wired at the same time. They are tired on the surface but activated underneath. Their nervous systems have forgotten what true calm feels like. That is exactly why a focused 5-minute exercise can be so transformative, because it interrupts the cycle of overstimulation. It creates a rare moment in your day when you are not consuming, not reacting, not performing, but simply releasing. When you consciously relax a key muscle, you begin to drain the stress chemicals that have been building up for hours. In a world addicted to stimulation, relaxation has become a lost skill. We don't practice it, we don't prioritize it. We assume our bodies will figure it out on their own, but they won't. Just as overstimulation trains the nervous system to stay alert, intentional relaxation trains it to power down. This exercise is a way of telling your body the day is over, the fight is finished. You don't have to be on guard anymore. And when the body finally receives that message, something remarkable happens. The mental noise gets quieter, the heart rate slows, the breath deepens. Sleep stops being a struggle and starts becoming natural again. Modern life may overstimulate you all day long, but with a simple, deliberate practice, you can give your body the off switch it desperately needs. Small actions create massive change. That idea sounds almost too simple to be true, especially in a world that constantly tells us the opposite. We are surrounded by messages that promise big solutions. Complicated programs, expensive gadgets, miracle supplements, dramatic transformations. We are conditioned to believe that real improvement must be hard, extreme, or overwhelming. But when it comes to the human body and the human nervous system, the opposite is usually true. The most powerful changes often come from the smallest, most consistent habits. When people struggle with sleep, they usually assume the problem requires a massive intervention. They think they need medication, elaborate routines, or hours of relaxation techniques. They imagine that fixing their nights will demand enormous effort. And because that feels intimidating, many do nothing at all. They stay stuck, night after night, believing the problem is bigger than they are. But biology does not respond only to grand gestures. Biology responds to signals. Tiny signals, repeated over time, reshape the way your body functions. 5 focused minutes can send a stronger message to your nervous system than an entire evening of distracted rest. That is the hidden power of this simple exercise. It proves that you do not need to overhaul your entire life to feel better. You do not need to clear your schedule, move to a quiet mountain, or meditate for hours. All you need is a brief, intentional moment where you deliberately choose to relax one key muscle and let go of the tension stored there. In those 5 minutes, something profound begins to happen. Your breathing slows, your heart rate softens, the constant hum of alertness in your body starts to fade, and your brain receives a clear, undeniable message. It is safe to power down. We underestimate how deeply the nervous system pays attention to these small acts. Just as 5 minutes of stress can put you on edge, 5 minutes of calm can begin to unwind that edge. The body does not need perfection to heal. It needs consistency. Think about how many small habits shape your day without you even noticing. A cup of coffee in the morning changes your mood. A few minutes of scrolling changes your focus. A short conversation can shift your emotions. If tiny actions can increase tension so easily, they can also release it just as easily. The problem is not that change requires too much. The problem is that we rarely give small actions a chance to work. When you commit to this exercise, you are choosing progress over perfection. You are deciding that instead of waiting for the perfect conditions to relax, you will create relaxation yourself. And when you do that night after night, something remarkable happens. Your body learns a new pattern. It begins to expect calm instead of stress. Sleep becomes easier not because you forced it, but because you trained it. Real transformation is rarely dramatic. It is quiet, it is gentle, It is built from small, faithful steps repeated over and over. 5 minutes may seem insignificant in the rush of a busy life, but 5 minutes of intentional release can change the entire quality of your night. And when your nights improve, your days improve, your energy improves, your mood improves, your life improves. Never underestimate the extraordinary power of a small action done with purpose. That is how real healing begins. Real healing is about daily discipline. That is a truth most of us resist because discipline sounds uncomfortable. It sounds like effort, structure, and commitment. In a world that promises quick fixes and instant relief, the idea of doing something small every single day can feel almost old-fashioned. But when it comes to sleep, stress, and the nervous system, there is no shortcut around this reality. Your body changes through repetition, not through one dramatic moment. So many people approach their sleep problems the way they approach a crisis. They wait until they are exhausted, overwhelmed, and desperate, and then they search for a fast solution. A pill, a technique, a single magical night that will reset everything. But biology does not work in emergencies. Biology works through habits. It responds to what you do consistently, not occasionally. The people who sleep well are not simply lucky. They are not born with some special gift. They have trained their bodies, often without even realizing it, to wind down at the end of the day. They have routines, rhythms, and small rituals that tell their nervous systems the same message again and again. It is time to rest. Discipline, in this sense, is not punishment. It is care. It is a form of self-respect. Doing this 5-minute exercise once will feel good. Doing it every night will change your life. That is the difference between temporary relief and true transformation. Each time you choose to pause, breathe, and release that tight muscle, you are reinforcing a new pattern in your brain. You are teaching your body how to move from tension to calm without fear. At first, it may feel unfamiliar. You might even feel impatient, wondering if 5 minutes can really make a difference. But the nervous system learns slowly, the way a child learns to trust. With repetition, it begins to recognize the signal. It begins to associate bedtime with safety instead of stress. This is exactly how lasting change happens. We live in a culture that celebrates motivation, but ignores discipline. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. The nights when you are tired, distracted, or tempted to skip the exercise are the very nights it matters most, because those are the moments when you prove to your body that calm is not random. It is reliable. Over time, something beautiful happens. You no longer have to fight for sleep. Your body starts to cooperate with you. The exercise becomes less of a task and more of a natural habit, like brushing your teeth or turning off the lights. And with that habit comes a sense of control that many people have not felt in years. Imagine what it would feel like to trust your own ability to rest. To know deep down that no matter how stressful the day was, you have a simple tool that can bring you back to balance. That confidence grows only through daily practice. Healing is not a single event. It is a relationship you build with your body over time. And like any good relationship, it requires attention, patience, and consistency. So choose the discipline of 5 minutes. Choose it again tomorrow and the day after that. Because when you commit to this small act of care, you are not just improving your sleep, you are reclaiming your nights, your energy, and your life, one calm, steady breath at a time.